Hello, welcome to this weather update. It is the 26th of July, 7 o'clock, or a little after that. Oh, man, I tell you, this is draining, this weather. It's draining me. The humidity, I'm just walking in, and I feel like I'm just going to drop. I can't breathe. The dew point's still 72, so it's been humid again today. We'll take a look at how the dew points were earlier on. I think it felt like they were a little lower earlier on in the day, so we'll actually take a look at that as soon as the computer decides to move itself along. Well, while we're waiting for that, we'll look at some of the other observations. So, islip, 79 degrees, dew point 72. The Gabreski Airport, 78 degrees. Dew point is 70. Central Park, 82 degrees with a dew point of 71. And, yep, the hot spot, 86 degrees in Toms River. And the dew point is 71. And I think it's finally loaded. Alright, so here we go. Let's see what if it felt like the dew points were a little lower earlier on. Yeah, we had dew points around 70 and then they've come back up again. But you can see, if we take a look here and we take a look, the dew points have not dropped below 70 for days now. Days. I don't ever remember this when I was younger. This is very unusual. Very unusual. Like I said, the summers are not necessarily getting hotter. They're getting more humid, and that's the main thing that I'm noticing. We'll take a look at some of the conditions through the Wonderground site. 83 degrees at Mineola. That's what this thing says anyway. Barely any wind, so you're going to be sweating your ass off out there. It's horrible. And if we can actually do this again and go to the map of all the different stations and see how it is across the area. We'll zoom out a little bit. So generally low 80s across the island, but on the South Shore, probably, South Shore feels a little better in the upper 70s. Sure, it's a little more comfortable on the South Shore versus inland. Not a huge difference. We don't usually see huge differences now at this time of the year, but definitely a difference nonetheless. We head out east. I got this really terrible headache after I'm done. I got to rest. This weather is just making me sick. So upper 70s. I mean, it feels like we're living in Florida. I can't take it. That's why I couldn't take living in Florida. Temperatures in the mid 70s out on the Forks. Okay, so it's a little cooler out there. And we'll work our way west now. Look at the temperatures. And we have temperatures here in the city. It's a little hotter, mid 80s. That's why I wouldn't want to be living in, because I'm struggling here. Imagine going someplace hotter. New York City. Some 90-degree readings, of course, because it's more inland and you have all the concrete and pavement and stuff like that. We go into, we'll zoom it out a little bit, see what it looks like north and west. I know there were a couple of thunderstorms that moved through the Hudson Valley, but it looks like it's back up into the mid 80s over there. And we go into central New Jersey, and yeah, it's a lot hotter there, mid 80s. And Toms River, we got some upper 80s around Toms River. So once again, we look at Toms River as being the hot spot once again, as it always is. So I sometimes nicknamed it Hot River because it's just so hot there. And if we're dying here, imagine what it's like there. Even right along the water is no relief because the wind is from the southwest, and that's why we're dying. We're not getting a south wind; we're getting a southwest wind, so it's warmer. But not much relief from the... Okay, so let's take a look at the Ventu Sky site. And again, this is going to be a site I'm going to use now for a while, from now on. And you can see that heat ridge in the Atlantic. Look at how big that ridge is, and that flow is just coming right out of the tropics. Right out of the tropics. Look at that. Right out. So you can see we got this flow right out of the tropics. Look, it's going all the way up into southeastern Canada here. And you can see the temperatures... Not terribly hot. I mean, the really hot stuff is over Texas, and it's over the Southwest and parts of the West Coast. Oh yeah, West Coast. 84, and even the Pacific Northwest is hot. And that's something that we used to never see. That's also changed due to climate. Usually, Oregon and Washington usually don't get heat, but now with climate change, they get heat. So you can see this is the overall pattern here, temperature. We can actually look at the, we'll go ahead and look at the dew point. Let's go to humidity. I want to show this because I really like the fact this shows the dew point. I love that. I absolutely love that because this really shows you where the humidity is. And you can see, again, that ridge, that huge ridge circulating this deep tropical, literally the same air that's in Florida, literally, is over us. The same exact air. And that's the thing. That's the thing that's going on with this really unusual pattern. And, well, this is what's going on because the jet streams are weaker and all kinked up. So we have this pattern that's stuck in place right now. It's just a matter of bad luck to get this kind of pattern. I'm just glad that there aren't any tropical systems here, because if there were, they would come right up the coast. Thank God there aren't any, and hopefully there won't be any until this pattern changes. We'll go back to temperatures, because actually I want to look at something for a minute with the temperatures. How hot is it in Florida? Yeah, it's just as hot in Florida. Yeah, generally similar conditions in Florida as all the way up the East Coast. The whole East Coast has become basically like Florida with the climate. It's with this kind of pattern in place, which is really, really abnormal. So we're going to look at the IntelliCast side, actually, because it's got a good satellite radar loop, and we can actually take a look and see how things are moving. I could actually change the speed up a little bit if I want. Speed it up a little bit here to show you, basically the players. We have this tropical flow that's over us, and you can see that the deep tropical flow has actually moved a little more offshore. And we have a low pressure system over here and a cold front. This cold front is actually going to try to come through and bring us some drier air for part of this weekend. So we can get into some drier air and Dewpoints below 70, which would be really nice, considering we've struggled with these high Dewpoints all summer long, and it's been, it really does wear you down, and I'm to the point of being completely worn down and not being able to even stand walking around out there anymore in this. You can see there's that ridge, and we do have, again, some not a whole lot. There's a couple of small, like I said, showers that popped up over the Hudson Valley, but the more substantial precipitation is going to be with this cold front that will be getting closer to us tomorrow and Saturday. So now let's take a look at the computer models and see when some relief is going to get here. It's just going to be a little taste of it before we're back into this disgusting soup again. Alright, so we'll start off with a look at the GFS here and see what's going to be happening. So you can see that ridge over there, and you can see a cold front coming in. So we're going to take a look here, and then we'll take a closer look at our area with some of the other models regarding the thunderstorm activity. But as you can see, that ridge, we have, you can see overnight, probably late tomorrow night into Saturday morning is when this cold front is going to move through. But it's going to have a lot of trouble moving through. It's going to wind up getting a little hung up because of that ridge, and it's not really going to move all the way through. So getting that front completely offshore is going to be difficult. However, we should get just enough dry air in here to lower the dew points a little bit. But then that moves right back up, and that ridge builds right back in place. And you can see that ridge isn't going anywhere. Literally, we go into this is next Thursday. The ridge is still there. Ridge is still there. All right, and then we go into Friday. Ridge is still there. Ridge is still there on August 5th. It's still there. Maybe it breaks down. Maybe it breaks down by the middle of August. I hope so, because this is really just unbearable, this pattern. This humidity is just ridiculous, and I'm tired of it. And this ridge, we need to do something about getting rid of this ridge. I don't know if at this point, this ridge is nothing but misery. It doesn't bring anything good to the area. It just brings nothing but problems. So we'll look at the dew points to show you the dry air coming in. So we'll go look at that. Oh, that's the wrong thing. I do apologize. And I screwed up. So, hold on. My mind isn't completely all there today because the heat is just, this humidity is just getting to me. So, I'm trying to keep it together here. Alright, so look at the dew point. And you can see here, look at those high dew points going right up the coast there. We don't really start seeing that relief until Sunday. And you can see some of the drier air, and we're going to get actually a little closer to our area, but I want to just show you this first to show you the general pattern of things. So Sunday we get a little relief, mostly over the island. I don't think Jersey is going to see any relief. I'm sorry. It's just too close to the stalled frontal boundary. Best chances for relief are going to be upstate. And then the ridge builds right back in place, and then we got stuck with the the horrible humidity once again, and it's just going to be horrible. It's going to really build. That ridge is really going to start building closer to us on Friday and Saturday. So I have a feeling this is not this weekend, but the weekend after this. And it just, there's no relief. Look, we're going right through 11th. We still have a lot of humidity. Only dry air can be found in the west, but it's also very hot there. So when we go to the temperatures, and I'll just go to temperatures. All right, I'm not going to go to anomaly. We did that on the weather update yesterday. All right, so so again, the temperatures. There's going to be actually some more heat tomorrow. I think tomorrow is going to be pretty uncomfortable. So it's going to be hotter, but it's still going to be humid because we have more of that southwesterly flow, less of a flow off the ocean. And you can see it's hot just about everywhere. The only areas it's not hot are in the upper Midwest and over here. All right. Otherwise, it's going to be hot everywhere. So Saturday, again, we have the heat in place. And again, the worst of it is over the south, but it's going to be a little hot here too. And then Sunday, it's not really going to get that much cooler. It'll get a little cooler, but still in the mid 80s. I mean, it'll be maybe it's about average for this time of the year, high in the mid 80s. So it's not like we're much above normal or anything, but it's not really going to get that cool either. And you can see as we go into the longer range period, you can see it's going to just heat up more and more and more. Probably over the east. So yeah, there's going to be some really hot days next week probably, according to this. Looks like the worst of it will be inland, but we'll have to take a closer look at that when I look at the models for our area. So but you can see the general pattern is we bake along with the rest of the northern hemisphere. We bake. Alright, so we're going to take a closer look at our area on the GFS as far as temperatures go. Into tomorrow, you can see it's going to be hot. Most of the heat will be over Jersey. Probably a good day to want to try to get along the South Shore as much as you can, where it'll be in the 80s. Jersey, some parts could get close to 90. Saturday, we have still some heat over Jersey and the city, as far as temperatures near 90. Otherwise, 80s. So no real extreme temperatures. Sunday will be in the mid 80s pretty much everywhere, and then we go into Monday. Similar thing, maybe some isolated upper 80s, interior New Jersey. Tuesday, same thing, pretty much. Nothing really extreme. Wednesday, yeah, we start seeing a little more heat building over New Jersey and New York City, and then we get into the next Thursday, and you can see the same kind of thing. Heat's just building in everywhere inland. I'm only going to go to next Friday. You can see the deal, but I do want to show the dew points. That's what I really wanted to show on this. So we go into here, look at the dew points. So we're still going to be dealing with the humidity into tomorrow, but you can see that dry air starting to come through. That's that cold front. I want to show you that because that comes through, and we go into Saturday, and it starts to dry out to the north and the west of the city by the afternoon. And as we go into Saturday night into Sunday, you can see dry air really trying to make a good push over, more over Long Island. The further south you go in New Jersey, the more humid it's going to be. And then we go into Monday, and the humidity starts creeping up. Still probably comfortable humidity levels on Monday, probably, especially for Long Island and points northward. And then the humidity starts coming up by Tuesday once again. Returns with a vengeance on Wednesday and Thursday as well. We're going to be having that as well with that ridge in place. Now we're going to go and look at the cloud situation. I'm only going to Friday on this because beyond that it's really not that accurate. So let's go to clouds. We're going to back this up a little bit here. I got to back it up. Alright, let's go. Alright, so Friday's tomorrow. The clouds coming through. And, yep. We try to get that front through Sunday, but I don't think Sunday's going to wind up being that clear. It has a lot of clouds over us. So it's actually going to be a lot of clouds over us for a number of days. Oddly enough, it has next Thursday being clear. Somehow with that humidity, I doubt it would wind up being that clear. It'll be uncomfortable as heck if it is. you can see here that no real clear days in sight. Let's take a look at the Canadian with the sky. Will be the last, because if you want to have nice blue skies, that's not going to be happening either. You think, oh, maybe we get into it on Sunday. Maybe. Canadian says maybe. But we go out here this far, and Canadian has a lot more clouds around that, and the amount of cloud cover is going to dictate how hot it gets to. I'm rooting for more clouds than anything else, because when the sun is out, that makes it even worse. So let's take a look at the NAM. We're not looking at clouds on the NAM. We are not looking at the clouds. We are looking at precipitation. So we're going to look at the cold front coming through. We're using the higher resolution NAM here, just to show you the thunderstorm threat now, right? So we go into tomorrow, Friday. Starts off not many, very scattered, hardly anything. But then some stuff starts popping up to the west of New York City. This is according to the NAM, and there's the front coming through. But it's really hit or miss as to where these storms are going to develop. The NAM seems to think New Jersey's going to get slammed, Tom's River, and then that moves out. Looks like quite a line forming offshore there. This is and then another batch of showers and thunderstorms Saturday night. And this probably is with the initial push of dry air. That might affect Long Island, perhaps. And we can go to the other one, the 12-kilometer one, which is a little more, a little less refined, you could say. But it's just to give you where the general ideas of where thunderstorms could pop up. Generally, I think the greatest risk for later tomorrow into the overnight is probably going to be over New Jersey and points north and west New York City, and then probably as we go into Saturday night, perhaps that risk is a little more over Long Island. So that is what's going to go on with that. I want to look at the other model too with that. Let me look at the dew point on this. I want to see what it does for dew point on this model here. See how this one handles the front. You can see all that. We're still in the soup. Saturday, we're still really dealing with high dew points. We don't really start seeing the drier air until Sunday, and it doesn't get very far south. So, again, the further north and west you are, the further north you are really is going to mean drier air. The further south you are, the more humidity, and the humidity comes right back Sunday night according to the NAM. So it's going to be very little relief from the humidity, like maybe a period of 24 hours or less, probably less than 24 hours with dew point below 70 degrees. So it'll be a very short burst of dry air. At least that's what the NAM thinks. I want to look at one more model before we wrap this up, and that will be the HDRPS. We're going to look at the convection. So this is for tomorrow as we go into Friday, and you can see this has some more convection popping up in the afternoon. We're going to have to keep our eye on that. Most of it stays to the west, but there's a bigger batch, that really intense batch Friday night that forms over New Jersey, and again looks like it tends to weaken as it moves toward Long Island. And then I don't know, does it show me that second batch? I don't think we have far enough into it yet. Alright, so I guess that's going to conclude this weather update. So again, the tropical humidity continues across our area. It sucks. I missed going to the Pine Barrens. I'd like to go, but it's too hot. I can only go to like little parks. I can't be outside. Well, it's really too humid. That's the main issue, is that it's too humid. I can't take this humidity. It's just awful. It really is awful. Anyway, that's it. So I just can't wait for the summer to be over. Please. So this is the summer from hell. Anyway, take care.